podcast. It's been a couple weeks. Um, I'm that other dude, Andrew, and something is a little different about me today. It's because I've returned home to Virginia and my bag of tricks. So I am sporting my festive uniform for today. And as always, I'm joined by Heather, who's wearing
Hello.
a very snazzy clutch hoodie
Yeah,
that you
can't
can't
really
really
see it,
see, but
but there it is.
we're repping. We're both repping musical genres.
Yeah.
So either way, today is episode number 134, and we're in a new format where I drudge up some music from the past, and then we go down what Heather's been listening to this past week, and then we had a submission this week, so we will cover it all.
Yeah.
So when I first did A Fistful of Faceful back in 2013 with Martin, we started with the the originators of heavy metal. So like your Black Sabbaths, Led Zeppelins, Creams, Deep Purples, and then we started to get into more specific genres. And when we got to doom metal, there are four sort of godfathers of doom. There's Pentagram, Saint Vitus, Trouble, and Candlemass. Those are thought of as like the four horsemen, so to speak. And I like Trouble and Candlemass, but my favorites were certainly Saint Vitus and Pentagram. So today I thought we would do a split of Pentagram and Saint Vitus.
On endless nights my needs erode. I come to desecrate your bones as maggots crawl amongst your flesh. You're soon to feel the truth of death. I want of you to reach my quest. You're bound to feel my cold request. Now my dear, you soon shall see the dying, living truth of me. Cause I'm not the living. You soon will be giving.
Who are both bands that have been around for a long time. Pentagram, Bobby Liebling is the sort of the one uh, founding and remaining member who's actually the Pentagram is still touring. They I think originally started recording music in 1971, so it's been a very long time, and they are noted as one of the pioneers of heavy metal, particularly of the subgenre doom metal. As such, they are considered one of the big four alongside Candlemass, Saint Vitus, and Trouble. Um, there's a great uh, there's a great documentary about Bobby Liebling that I think came out maybe 10, 15 years ago. I think it's called Last Days Here. And it's just sort of about him trying to keep the music, trying to keep his dream alive of, being in a band and touring. I think he was living with his parents at the time. Um, it's very interesting. But anyway, on the doom metal scale, they're sort of on one end. They've got like clean operatic vocals and more formulaic doom riffs. That's why I like them. Um, they have a ton of albums that have been released, so you can find their music. And then Saint Vitus started out as a band called Tyrant in 1978, and then I think they changed their name after the Black Sabbath songs called Saint Vitus Dance. Um, and they have been interesting because they're an LA band, and they signed with SST Records, which was a punk label. So they would usually play a lot of punk shows, and the punks didn't really know what to do with them. But they sort of persevered, and then Black Flag started to incorporate their sound, the sound of St. Vitus, into their music. So later, Black Flag tends to have more of a sludgier, doomier sound, which is really interesting. And St. Vitus is still around for the most part. They were the brainchild of Dave Chandler. He's still, and they have. I think he might be the only original member left, except they had an original lead singer who now is back with the band. There was a period where Scott Wino was the lead singer. But you can get their albums. They're really good. Their sound is also unique. So I would put them on the other end of the spectrum. With Pentagram would be, let's say, all the way to the left. St. Vitus would be all the way to the right. And a lot of times when I listen to doom, I try to figure out where on that scale the band would fall. So definitely worth checking both bands out. You can find all their music on YouTube very easily. So yeah, St. Vitus and Pentagram. There's some very good stories too in the First Days Here documentary. I think Pentagram had a couple of chances to get signed to a major label and be much bigger than what they were. And either bad luck or poor judgment or bad management, a lot of those things happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Check out Pentagram from Alexandria, Virginia, and St. Vitus from Los Angeles, California. And then that brings us to the present with four bands, I think.
Yeah.
4 bands that you've listened to.
Yeah.
So kick things, where do you want to start?
All right. Well, how about with Chaosmanaut?
Okay.
That's the band name, and the song is called Passion Aggression. And I kind of tricked you with this song because it's 34 minutes long. So this band followed me on the social media network Blue Sky, and I was intrigued with both their band name and the description that they had. So I went and I gave it a listen, and this is their first studio recording. And it starts out, the reason I really like doom, and Doom was their descriptor. So I thought, well, I'm going to listen to this because I love Doom. And it starts out Doom, and then it kind of goes, it gets more metal. The further along it goes, it gets more metal, and then there's harsh vocals. And then towards the end of the song, it gets really progressive. And it's almost like an entire album that's in one song. And I thought that was very cool. So I'm very curious what they come up with next. If they're going to do more stuff like this, or if they're going to kind of concentrate more in one area.
Yeah. I will pronounce them Chaosmanaut. But they're from Boise, Idaho. And I learned my freshman year of college because I had a guy on my floor from Boise. And when I said, "Oh, you're from Boise," he was like, "No, it's Boise, like you're, not Boise." So, anyway, props to Tyler Storty for setting me straight. So I read on Bandcamp, Chaosmanaut was born out of a desire to eschew the trappings of the typical rigid band songwriting process and instead commit to capturing the zeitgeist of each set individually. Using tools from jazz, doom, noise, drone, each performance is written to capture a singular idea, be performed a single time, and discarded as a testament to that moment before starting over again. So it seems like there's a lot of improvisation to what they do. Maybe they're not obviously improvising the song as they're recording it, but I think it's probably built out of several jam sessions that just sort of see where the song goes. And yeah, Passion Aggression is almost 35 minutes, one track that's almost 35 minutes, and it makes up the whole album. And again, they wrote, Passion Aggression is the first studio recording from Chaosmanaut. This is also the first piece of music with the current lineup, which added a new vocalist and a second drummer. As it is one song over 30 minutes long, they're trying to show that music does not need to be limited to a narrow genre-defining structure. It can explore various territories and still have a cohesive sound. If nothing else, this should be a unique listening experience, the culmination of an expanding number of influences into a singular expression of emotion and art. I was very much into this song, specifically the first 15 or 20 minutes of it, because that played to the things that I really like, the doom riffs and cleaner vocals. I was definitely doing the side head nod like a champ. And then, yeah, it gets very dark at some point. There's a sort of a death metal quality to it, and then it does become progressive. It was really cool. Also, there's a sample that opens the song, and then later on it sounds like they're just a conversation being recorded. And one of the things that someone says is, feels like Sisyphus pushing that rock up. And that image really resonated with me. I could sort of see that song, echo that visual. And then, yeah, it ended with a synthesizer. And I was like, whoa, this is getting really progressive. But yeah, definitely. I mean, they definitely captured what they set out to do by kind of creating a whole album's worth of music in one song that incorporated a ton of different styles.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. And like you, I'm also excited to see what they do next.
Yeah. And then the next one, the band is called Foot, and the song is called Come and See, and they're from Melbourne, Australia. This is a single. This song is a single from their record, The Hammer, which hasn't been released yet. On their Bandcamp page, it says it's about the film The Hammer, which got to them and gets to everyone that watches it. I think the reason I like this song so much is because it's different. It's so different. There's an amazing guitar riff, and I'm a sucker for awesome guitar riffs. The vocal delivery is really unique also, and I thought overall I can't really recall hearing anything, like this. I just thought it was so unique. So many bands out there, and to have a unique sound like this, I think is really a testament to who they are as a band, and I think that's something to be really proud of.
Yeah, my first question, so Foot from Melbourne, Australia. Did they name their band after the Foot Clan from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? That's my first. That was my. I was just curious. Or is it just a Foot? Like, is it, or does it, Now, I thought the song was named after the film Come and See. Is it named after a film called The Hammer?
Well, the album is named.
The album is called The Hammer, but when you were just talking about it now, I thought you said that the film was named The Hammer.
Yes, they named the album after the film The Hammer.
Oh, see, okay. I thought they named the song after the film Come and See.
Oh, yeah, because I got that the record is called The Hammer, and they named it after the film The Hammer.
Because the only film that I know of called The Hammer is starring Adam Carolla, and it's a sophomoric comedy.
I looked it up, and there's several several movies called The Hammer, but I noticed that there's one about a wrestler, and I was wondering if it was that one.
Oh, that's about a real guy, Matt Hamill, who's deaf, who went into MMA. I thought they had named the song Come and See about the movie Come and See, which apparently is a really incredible anti-war film that takes place during World War II. So it said, critical response to Come and See has since continued to rise more widespread acclaim in retrospective years. Its realistic portrayal of the horrors of war and brutality in the film's third act was widely praised. It has since become considered one of the greatest films of all time, particularly in the anti-war film genre. So
wow.
I thought they were talking about the track Come and See being named after the film.
The film, okay.
So, but either way, we'll see.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I agree with everything you said. Definitely very interesting in terms of it being a unique sound. I don't think I could compare what I had difficulty being like, oh yeah, Foot, they sound exactly like so-and-so. So, and yeah, I'd be curious to see, what they do next and what the rest of the album is like.
Yeah. Okay, and then the band name is Holm, Holm, and the song is called Heart Without Home, Home.
The street lights lead me astray when the sun is going down instead of showing me the way that leads me where you roam, the streets you walking on. And now I know I got a heart without home.
Linz, Austria. Um, sometimes I like to listen to indie or alternative rock, and this song is a feel-good song. The rhythm of the song and the gentle vocals, just when you listen to it, it just makes you feel good. The song is about finding a place to truly belong, and I think everyone kind of has that feeling at some point in their life. This song is a testament to just grabbing the guitar and crafting a beautiful song. Nothing overly complicated, a great message, and a song that has feeling. The band seems to release a lot of singles, so I'll just be patiently waiting for their next single.
Yeah, Home, Heart Without a Home. Um, I just wrote acoustic guitar and beautiful singing melody. Um, and then at one point when it kicks into the chorus, it reminded me of the song 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins. So if you're into that sort of alternative rock, um, then Home is if the rest of their stuff is similar, then it's definitely worth checking out. You had told me going into this episode that it was going to be different in terms of the music we were going to be listening to. Um, and I actually started with Foot and then went into Chaosmanaut. So once we hit Chaosmanaut, I was like, okay, this is what I'm used to. And then to go to Home was like, oh my goodness, this is radically different.
Yeah, yeah. I it I thought it, I want to try to get into some different territory and explore some different things.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
it's
think
all good. It's all good music.
yeah, I think actually lately we've done I think a better job of kind of embracing all different styles of music.
Sure.
So, yeah. But this next one is more like within my wheelhouse. What of my, what I normally listen to. And it's Kabbalah and that's the band name, and the song is called Death Without a Funeral.
This death will not have a funeral. It happened on the scorching night. Ride until final with immensity on sight. His mind has gone so far away. Here the body remains, wandering, floating, flying, beating wars approaching to the end.
And they're from Pamplona, Spain. This single was released January 21st, and my favorite parts of the song are when they do the vocal harmonies. I just think that it's really beautiful. The way that it's done is really beautiful, and then the music that's underneath it is just perfect. They just nailed it. It's like a retro doom sound. Um, and it's quite mystical. It has a mystical element to it. These women, they will put a spell on you. I just love the vocals. They're so beautiful, and I think I got familiar with them because I follow Ripple Music, and a lot of the stuff that they put out, they're on the Ripple label. And I think that's how I came to know who they were. This is a band, I've been following them for a little while, and I really like their stance on injustice. And I think it's something that we can't stay silent about.
Yeah. again, if you take the 4 songs we've listened to for what you've been listening to this week, they're all incredibly different from each other. This one, again, is unique in the sound, and it's a beautiful song. They had written Kabbalah invokes 2024 with the making of new occult rock grimoires where sticky melodies, funerary riffs, and liturgy vocals come together. And I thought, okay, well, again, you've achieved what you set out to do. Yeah, it is hauntingly beautiful. There is that quality to it. So, with all 4 of the bands that we've listened to this week, I would definitely check out the rest of their albums.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the submission that we had is Neil Howell. The album is called The Way Out, and it releases on March 28th. The one thing I really admire about Neil is the number of albums that he releases. It's really quite amazing. All different styles of music, and I get the sense that he really loves music and he really loves making music. I really like the intro to this record, and then things get really serious. There's a fury of metal and progressive metal, then a supporting cast. And this is interesting, some names that you might recognize. Lisa Mann on the song No Money and Philosophy, and Mad Scientist Dorn on the song Hope Only Goes So Far, and Alex Parkinson and Igor Lapo on Logic Dictates. So these are some people that we've talked about before. So I thought that was really cool that they're all collaborating together like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like the metal community is like this big family. So keep your eyes peeled for this record when it comes out on March 28th.
Yeah, Neil Howell is from, or he lives in Missouri now. I always like to, again, today we've been in Australia, we've been in Idaho, we've been in Missouri, we've been in Spain, all over the world. That's another thing I do like about what we do. A couple of tracks that stood out for me on this one, No Money and Philosophy is just a killer title. Option 1, Denial, and Pathfinder, those were 3 that I gravitated toward. It reminded me, there's a movie called Factotum with Matt Dillon where he plays like Charles Bukowski in the movie. And at one point he's got a job doing menial labor, and he's talking to the supervisor, and the supervisor finds out he's a writer, and he said, "What's your book about?" And Matt Dillon goes, "Everything." And the guy goes, "Everything? Your book's about cancer?" And Matt Dillon goes, "Yup." He goes, "What about my wife?" And Matt Dillon goes, "She's in there too." And I felt, listening to this album, Neil Howell puts like every like each song, like there was, I think it might be an Option 1, Denial, or Pathfinder, but there's reggae. And I remember thinking like, okay, he's gone, he's he's merging all of these things that seem to go well together, that you wouldn't think. Like, I wouldn't have expected the song to all of a sudden have a reggae feel to it. But it works. It works well. If you are looking for any type of music, you will find it on this album.
Yeah.
And that is really cool that a lot of the people we've talked to are collaborating with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this has been another stellar week.
Yeah. There's been a ton of music being released lately.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some more stuff that I've been listening to next time.
Well, I will roll up my sleeves, fluff my leopard print collar. But yeah, no, this was another great. These are great finds. I'm excited to check out and see more music from all of these bands.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll be back in a few weeks. If you have anything you want us to review, feel free to send it. Otherwise, there's not a shortage of music, so we will be back with more things to discuss.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.